Hello, my name is Yelka95. This is probably a very unusual video for me to do, but I thought I would do my kind of like a vlog, but not a vlog of my experience when I went to Japan solo. So recently I went to Japan by myself for 9 days because I've always wanted to do Japan and I just thought, fuck it, I'm just going to do it. And I did. So first things first, I went to Heathrow, and then I went to I think it was like a 14-hour flight. I stopped over in Beijing, and then I finished off in Narita Airport, and then went from Narita to my hotel in Nikasa. So this was like the first day I woke up, and pretty much I found like a Buddhist shrine, I think it was, and quite close to me. I thought, you know what, it's quite early. Let's go explore like the Buddha shrine and stuff like that. So kind of went my nose around and bit of a walk it, bit a little bit of walk to kind of get my legs used to, as they say, the amount of steps you got to do in Japan. And yeah, it was a pretty good, nice sights, you know. But also I know about the foxes and stuff. I know like it was quite a big thing. I think in Japan, like the foxes. I think it's some sort of guide spirit. Not too entirely sure, but the weather was lovely and I was happy with that. So can't be too much complaining with that, obviously. And then I went to like a weird kind of like a park thing, and they had another like kind of statue and ate some food. But then I went over into Shibuya kind of area because I was quite close to the Shibuya crossing, funny enough. And I decided just to have a little nose. It's during the day, so there wasn't no neon lights or anything like that. But I tell you what, there is a lot of people that cross that damn road. They do not lie about it. I mean, it's a thing like people say, "Oh yeah, you should definitely do it and stuff," and get a video. It's kind of like a thing like you don't have to. It's like it's just a normal cross. It's just a lot of people just cross the damn roads, kind of thing. You know, it's nothing like special if you see in other places and stuff like that. It's just one of those things. But some people love it, some people don't. I mean, it's a thing I say you probably do once and then that'd be it because again, there's nothing really much special about it. But then I kind of did a bit more walking and I found some like kind of gotcha machines, you know, loads of them, man. There's so many. Like where I am, I don't get this sort of like many gotcha machines. It's amazing to see how many it was, how cheap it is as well. It's just incredible. Then I found the Pokemon kind of center, but at first I went popped into Nintendo World, had a little Nintendo Mario, Zelda, like kind of the old classic Mario with the whole Lucky Box, and then I popped into the Pokemon Center itself because I wanted some Pokemon cards. No luck, obviously. But then, actually, funny enough, when I was in the Pokemon Center, they had like a Pikachu kind of live thing. You know, you could meet Pikachu, but I don't speak Japanese, so I couldn't really understand what's going on. Then there was like Godzilla, Street Fighter. So it's quite like a lot of things you could like, you know, have a nose at and stuff like that if you're into that sort of stuff. And then I found out there was a temple again nearby. I'm sorry I don't know the name of these temples. I do apologize. I just cannot for the life of me remember. But I had a little wander down there. It was like a 10, 20 minute walk. There's loads more things you can walk around and stuff like that. But funny enough, when I got there, they kind of had these guards telling us like to move out the way and stuff. I was like, okay, something about to happen and stuff. And then yeah, as you see, there's actually like a kind of like I think it's like a wedding thing, or it's kind of like I don't know. It's hard to say like it was because I didn't know what was going on, so I was just quite curious to see what it was. It looked like a wedding because like it had like I think the woman in like a nice kind of wedding dress, and then like the guy in the suits and stuff. You had lots of people in suits, and yeah, I generally think it was like a wedding thing, but I may be wrong. If I am wrong, please correct me down in the comments. But that's what I kind of feel like it was. So the next thing what I went to was a Team Lads Planets, I think it was, and honestly, this was an incredible experience. This was amazing. I think I paid 15 quid to get into this, and it was the best 15 quid I've probably ever spent. So you had like the water thing first. You kind of like had to take your shoes and socks off, you know, making sure like because you literally your feet were in the water, like there was no jokes about it, like you was getting it soaked. And then we went into like a kind of like a water section with the fish, and it looked like the fish were moving and stuff like that. And it was actually pretty interesting to see like it's kind of like a projection thing, like hang up the sky, and like you kind of just walk through it, and but it felt like you touch it, but you wasn't touching it, if that makes sense. But yeah. Then we went into the famous crystal kind of maze, and honestly, it's so much better in person. It is so much better in person. Like you get to see like it's trippy. Don't get me wrong. It can like make your brain go a bit loopy loopy, and you can spend as long as you want by the way in these rooms, as long as you will please. So I did spend there quite a while, I think. And then after obviously the Crystal Maze, you had like these kind of like big balls and stuff like that. Kind of changed the color. It's interesting. Like it was a weird room. Like it was nice, but it wasn't so nice at the same time. I don't know. Maybe that was just me. I was just kind of my thing. And then you had like this kind of like a weird wall here, like with animals and stuff. Like they move, like the whole thing moves, and you can actually download an app on when you was there. And if you downloaded the app, you could pretty much interact with the animals on your phone and learn about more about them. So yeah, it's quite nice. And then we went into like the next room with like the whole feet thing, and like it was kind of like lumpy areas where you could kind of like jump around and stuff, and interact with your feet. And if you stamp on them, you kill them, kind of thing. It was quite amusing. But no, it was a very nice experience, Team Lads. Honestly, I highly recommend doing so at least once if you've never been. And then I went to a Christmas lights trail towards the end of my night. Pretty much because I was near Christmas, I decided, you know what, let's go do a Christmas light trail. And it was only like £2 to get in. It was pretty cheap, to be fair. And yeah, it was right the race course. It was like you had like tunnels of lights, you had like more tunnels of lights, you had like kind of like projection shows going about. And it was honestly a nice magical Christmas experience because obviously be by myself. Obviously, he's a bit lonely, but I decided to do this trip, so I thought, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it. And yeah, honestly, Japan at night, it does light up really well. And I'll probably say it loads of times in this video. It does light up really well, and I get to see like all these Christmas trees that get set up in like different squares, and then all these presents and stuff, and they even have like little light shows again, like just in the town itself. It's an amazing kind of experience. And it was a lot of walking today, a lot of drinking and stuff, but it was good fun. And it concludes to day one of my trip on Japan. So day two was interesting. I went to Disneyland Tokyo. There's a couple of trains there. Pretty much got there, but had a little security at the start, bit of bagging, like getting the check in. Probably took about half an hour just to get in, so it wasn't too bad. So, in my personal experience, if you've done Disneyland Paris, I probably say you could probably skip Disneyland Tokyo and do Disneyland Sea instead. I didn't do Disneyland Sea, and I kind of wish I did because apparently it's one of a kind, and it's a bit annoying. I kind of missed out on that, but I am planning to go back to Japan anyway. So yeah, well. Anyway, so my experience with Disneyland Tokyo. So they cancelled a parade. I think it was the only Christmas parade at the time. It was a Christmas themed event in Disneyland, and yeah, they cancelled it because the weather was a bit shit. But other than that, I went on a lot of rides. I did a lot of. There's only I think 2 rides that are single lines. The rest of them are like you have to queue up and stuff. And to be honest, I managed to do most of the rides. Funny enough, it wasn't like a busy day. It was still like reasonably busy, but I still managed to get a lot of things done. Like I managed to go to shops. I managed to buy some stuff. I managed to like eat some food. Went to see like the light shows and stuff like that. Honestly, the Christmas light shows are honestly phenomenal. That's one thing I will say that's got. Or maybe in Disneyland Paris, I don't know. I never went there during Christmas time, but in Tokyo they had this like amazing light parade show that went through. Like, I think like 6, 7 o'clock in the evening, and oh my god, honestly, one of the best things I've ever witnessed. The only thing I say is a bit disappointing was the fireworks kind of display. It was kind of weird because they had the fireworks going like to the left of the castle instead of literally on the castle, whilst in Disneyland Paris they had it like coming through the castle and stuff. They closed off the whole area. So pretty much once the fireworks are done, you kind of can still go around Disneyland. It's a very weird experience, not gonna lie. Um, but to be honest, like I said, Disneyland Tokyo was fine. Would I do it again? Probably not. I'll probably do Disneyland Sea instead, and maybe my view of it would be different. But that was my kind of like day two experience with myself being in Tokyo. So day three in Japan, I went to Kyoto. So I got on the Shinkansen train. I booked my tickets on the day as well. I had no problem at all. I went to the English guy that apparently is like English room, and yeah, he could book my seat. He pretty much told me where to go, and yeah, pretty much found my way through. So once I got to Kyoto, first thing first was their new Team Lab experience, and honestly, this was fun. This was a very fun, interesting. It was very different and it was very long. Like I kid you not, it was a very long experience. So you had like the kind of like a bubble cloud thing. Like it was like, but you had to wear a mask. You had to wear a mask. You had to wear gloves. Did you have to wear gloves? No, you didn't have to wear gloves. No, you had to wear a mask though. You had to wear a mask, and you pretty much kind of like you know, play with the bubbles, but not too much, if that makes sense. You wasn't allowed to go too far in either. You had like a little square you had to be in, and yeah, it was really nice. Quite a nice experience. And then we went into like this muddy kind of slush area. And it was funny because there was a couple next waiting with me as well. 'Cause you're only like 4 or 5 people allowed in this kind of Kyoto kind of like little square window thing with brown smush. And one of the people next to me, she was like going back and forth, but she was like doing like a penguin noise at the same time. It was quite amusing and it was quite funny. And then pretty much when we got out of the pod and stuff like that, she kind of like bowed her head and said like, "Yeah, thank you for the nice experience and stuff like that." It was nice. It was a nice experience there. And then what else you do in the Kyoto thing? You had like more like kind of crystal maze thing again as well. So some of it was kind of similar to the one in Team Lad Planets, but some of it was different. So like I would say do both because there is some things that you don't see in Team Lab Planets that you do see in Kyoto. Um, but if you don't want to, don't have to. But it's in my personal thing, I say do both. And then after that, I went to the Nari Shrine, and the famous Nari Shrine where everyone stops at the start and then takes a lot of photos and stuff like that. And yeah, I didn't go too far up because I wasn't staying long in Kyoto, and I kind of got to get a lot of things done and stuff like that. So I did Kyoto like in Nari Shrine. I got probably like half an hour up, and then I kind of went nah, no more. Came back down, and I found this beautiful cafe that had like an amazing view of this like forest, kind of the whole area you're in. And honestly, I had this Inari parfait. I was at first I looked at it and I was kind of like, that looks delicious. And then I looked at it again and like, should I have ordered this kind of thing? And I did. I ate it. It was really nice actually. The Inari parfait is pretty good. It had a lot of matcha in it, and so if you're not a fan of matcha, don't eat it. I wouldn't recommend. But yeah, it was very tasty and stuff like that. After that though, I went to the bamboo forest. Overrated. Don't get me wrong. It's nice. It is a nice place, but it's it's just bamboo kind of thing. It's nice to look at, but like I wouldn't spend too long there if that makes sense. I would spend like maybe 5-10 minutes at best if you can, because there's so much more to do in Kyoto. I really wish I did more stuff in Kyoto. And then I went to like a pay for a garden kind of view. I went to this kind of like garden area. Oh, it's a beautiful place. I think it cost me like 300 yen. It was nice. It was a very nice place. And yeah, it was very nice. As I say, keep saying nice. And then I went into like the kind of like a beach area. You could walk away all the way around it. I didn't walk away around it because it was getting late. But oh my god, it's such a nice view. Like the whole kind of like riverfront, and it was just a very nice day in Kyoto. Only downside I wish is I really wish I spent more time in Kyoto. It's the only thing I regret. But yeah, that was end of day 3. So day 4, Universal Studios Japan. It was coming, and it was in Osaka kind of area. So I went there to Universal Studios. I think it took me about an hour to get in, roughly, because it was a kind of school trip as well on that day. Bit annoying. I saw that. I was like, saw kids coming in, and I was like, no, please, no, why? Experience wise, so single ride experience, fantastic. I managed to go on every single ride, no problem whatsoever. I think the most I waited in line was probably an hour, and that was for what ride was it for? Oh, it was one of the Jurassic rides. I think it was. Yeah, no, was it? No, it wasn't Jurassic ride. I can't remember. There's one ride I waited for an hour for. There's Mario. That was it. I'll get to Tender World, but it was Mario. But yeah, the rides here in Universal Studios are incredible. Like, honestly, Jurassic rides are amazing. Jaws was interesting. It's quite funny. With the whole live acting, I praise that a lot. The acting in it was very good. I went to Minion kind of world. A Minion world is funny. If you love Minions, you'll love that part of the place. Then you had like a Universal kind of city area. It was alright, but wasn't my kind of cup of tea and stuff like that. So it was fine. And then I made my way to the Harry Potter world. Oh my god, Harry Potter worlds. Yeah, so if you're a big fat nerd of Harry Potter, sadly they had the main ride closed. I think it's like the ride. Oh, it's like the broom ride. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, pretty much that was closed. So there's only like 2 rides going on in Harry Potter, or 1 ride. And that was like the Higgle Griff ride, I think it was. That was a good ride though. It was a good ride, to be fair. But yeah, if you're a massive Harry Potter fan, you'll love Universal Studios because there's like so much to do in Harry Potter and can get very busy very quick. Luckily, it wasn't busy when I went, but it still get quite busy. So then I made my way over to Super Tendo World. Very nice place. Don't get me wrong. The Super Tendo World, it's 3 rides, 4 rides. I didn't bother Yoshi because I heard people say it's a slow ride. It's more like you go around the whole park, kind of more for your kids kind of thing. So I didn't bother with Yoshi. I went through Mario Kart. Mario Kart is fun. Only downside was the thing on my head wouldn't sit still every time I moved my head. So in the end, I had to hold my goggles to make sure I could see still because it was near enough fall off my head. So it's a bit annoying that happened to me, but I have got a big head, so what can I say? And then I made my way over to Donkey Kong area. I got myself a Donkey Kong milkshake and stuff like that. Oh, milkshake was banging, by the way. So good. But the donkey ride broke. So as soon as I get over there, it's because it started raining a bit. And I think the ride, because it goes at like a weird speed, it kind of goes off track a bit. That when it rains, it has to kind of stop because I think that's what the guy was saying. And yeah, it kind of broke for about a couple of hours. So it was all right. It was fine. It's just how it is. But then it opened back up. And then as soon as I got onto the ride, I think it took me like half an hour to get onto the ride. And I got put with, obviously, a group of 3 girls. And to be fair, it's actually, they were quite nice as girls as well. Because once they got off, they kind of bowed their head and said thank you, goodbye, and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, that's quite nice, because you don't really do that in the UK. Then you never see the person ever again, kind of thing. But yeah, it's quite nice people. I'll give them that and stuff like that. And then yeah, kind of just went around a bit more Universal Studios, and then ended my day in Universal. So that was the end of that day. So day 5 was in Osaka. I didn't spend much time in Osaka because I don't know what it was. I didn't have enough time. I think I spent like half a day in Osaka because I had to get like Shinkansen all the way back to my hotel back um Akaza. And yeah, I also went to the Tondobori. I had a view around the markets and stuff like that. But to be honest, there wasn't really much to say about Osaka because, like I said, there's probably more stuff to do there, but I just didn't do it in the end. I kind of just went around the whole Tondobori and viewed all the lights. Honestly, it's very nice though. Like the whole kind of street lights and all the like down the streets and see all the like street vendors and their food. I had like a weird strawberries and grapes kind of stick thing. It was really nice, very sugary, but very nice. But then I got back on the Shinkansen train back over to Akaza. I think about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon because it takes 2 3 hours. I actually met a friend on that train. Funny enough, I'm not going to say who they are. I'm going to keep their like identity secret and stuff. But yeah, we had a nice conversation. Talked about like because obviously they were Japanese, so I had to use a translate to kind of like translate like what I was saying and stuff like that. But it was really nice getting to know him. It really was. But yeah, that was kind of like end of day 5. It didn't really do much. So day 6 was meant to be a Mount Fuji trip. I messed up. I looked at the time log and time I woke up and saw it, I was like, oh, I'm not going to make it. So I fucked up there. That's just how it is, unfortunately. So I didn't go to Mount Fuji in the end. So I went to Senji Temple, I think it was. Had lovely views of there, lovely street market food again there, and a lot of obviously kimono rent outs and stuff like that. And then, funny enough, right? So remember that friend I said I talked to the day before. I actually messaged and say like, hey, do you want to hang out and stuff like that? And they actually agreed. So we went out and they took me to see some trees. I think there's like really unique trees. I don't know what's so unique about them, to be honest with you. Maybe someone can tell me in the comments down below. But yeah, the trees were lovely. And then obviously there were a lot of market stuff down there. A lot of people taking pictures of the leaves because obviously it's autumn time during that time. And then they treated me to their unique popcorn. And the popcorn, I already finished it. I'm upset. I really wish I got more popcorn. Their popcorn's good. Compared to UK popcorn, our popcorn on nothing on Japan's popcorn. Their popcorn's good. It honestly is. And then we went up to Shibuya Sky, kind of like, not the actual top of the Shibuya Sky. We was like the floor below it. And pretty much, we got a nice view of it and stuff, like the whole Shibuya Sky. It was a beautiful scene and see a lot of Christmas stuff like that. So we went a little bit shopping in there. And then we went to like some gacha machines. I bought them some stuff from the gacha machines to say, enjoy this day. You bought me popcorn, so I'll buy you gacha machines. Kind of thing like that. It's just an enjoy thing. And then we went to, I think, yeah, Tokyo Skytree. Honestly, Tokyo Skytree is amazing to look out when it's getting down to night. It is so pretty. It's so nice. And it can be a very romantic place. I can see why people probably get engaged up there. Like, I heard a story, I think it was, they told me that said a lot of people get romantic, like get engaged up there. And I can see why, because there's a lot of things you can do up there. It's romantic. I get it. But yeah, after that, we pretty much departed our ways after a long day. So yeah, it was nice meeting that person for my Tokyo trip. So my last day in Japan, sadly enough, I went to Akihabara. My God, the amount of arcades and collectibles they have is incredible. I kid you not, there is incredible how much stuff there. I really wish I had more money because I would have bought more stuff. There is so much stuff you can buy. There's Pokemon cards, which I finally got, by the way. It took me a while, but I finally got my Pokemon cards. There's Pokemon cards, there's Demon Slayer, there's Jitsu, there's fucking, you name it. There's all the anime stuff in there. You like, it's ridiculous. It's so amazing. And obviously, some shops sell it cheaper than others. It's just hard to make the choice. And then the arcades. Oh my God. I've never seen any arcades like it. They're so interactive. Like you had the drums, you had the kind of one with a circle. You press the buttons in the circle and like drag your fingers on the screen. I can't remember what it's called. It's honestly, and I see all some people who do this, like also go there, play there for a living, and then some of them are incredible. Like what the hell? I see someone that was doing it on expert difficulty. He's moving like a maniac. It's crazy. But I think I spent in the arcade a good 3 hours because it's so cheap. Like I think it's like 200 yen or 300 yen. You get like 3 goes. It's ridiculous. UK don't get that. You pay like £1. That's bloody 3 goes on the crane machine, and crane machine's crap. So that's just how it is. And then I wasn't allowed to take pictures of this because they have a strict policy on this. But I went to a maid cafe. Yeah, it was a very interesting experience. It was like it was on the 5th floor. I can't remember where it was in the Akihabara exactly, but it had a maid cafe. Literally, as soon as I got in, I had someone greet me saying, "Yeah, hello, welcome to the maid cafe," and then watch like a live show of them dancing and stuff like that. By the way, but before anyone gets any ideas, it's not a sexual maid cafe. By the way, it's just them just as maids, and they make you do like a little thing when you want your food and stuff like that. Go moi ya. I think something like that is. It's funny. It's hilarious. Honestly, it's such an amazing experience, and I probably will go back there again because it's funny. I had also the food was pretty good as well. Like the food was pretty decent price, and I had a nice Coke, water, and I think it was like an omelette chilies thing. I think it was, but honestly, it's really tasty. Really nice dish and a very pleasant experience at the maid cafe. And then after I'd done all the Akihabara stuff, I went to Shinjuku. Also, I saw the 3D cat, and I saw the Godzilla, and they were very obviously busy areas. But I also saw the famous kind of like where all the people advertise their stuff in the middle of the streets and stuff like that. I didn't dare walk through the middle because I probably got harassed because I'm British, because I'm a foreigner in their country. They're thinking, yes, easy target. But no, I didn't go through that. But I did see a live show a little bit. Actually was a live show going on in Shinjuku at the time, and I did a little recording of it. Obviously, funny enough, it was free. Funny enough, I went in there and I was kind of just sat in the crowd for about 5-10 minutes and watching the show. Obviously, I don't know what they're singing because it's in Japanese, but it was good. I was actually quite enjoyed it. And then obviously I also got some food and stuff. I went to the Golden Kai. If you don't know what the Golden Kai is, it's pretty much loads of pubs just scrammed in one area. And I think I went to, it was one of these bars. I think it was called a Bara pub or something. I can't remember. But pretty much it had like lots of notes and stuff like that. Pretty much from every different country. A lot of people came and visit and stuff like that. And I met the people behind the bar. We spoke. Um, Met some other people that also came in for that day. Had a socialized conversation with different people there. And honestly, it was an amazing time. I really wish I kind of drank more. I didn't really go to many bars. I think that was my only night I went to a bar, and I kind of regret not going to more. And especially that bar as well because it was a very nice pub. So definitely, we'll probably go back there. So my last day. Well, pretty much I was flying back this same evening. Pretty much I had to get some food. Also, I got a lot of Kit Kats, sweets, and stuff like that. Got all that, snacking snam. And then I had a little explore once more around Tokyo before I had to go home. So that is my Tokyo experience. My review of Tokyo. It is honestly the most incredible experience I've ever had in my life. Maybe it's probably the better places. I don't know. Maybe people will say, "Oh no, that place is better. That place is better." Honestly, for me personally, I would love to go back to Tokyo because there's so much more to do. I didn't even. I only spent one day in Tokyo. Like I only spent one day there. I spent 2 days in Kyoto. Oh, one day in Kyoto. You know what I mean? There's so much more. Mount Fuji. I didn't even do that. I forgot to do it. I messed up. That's my fault. But if you're thinking about doing a solo, do it. Because it's honestly, this city welcomes you so well. The people are lovely. There's so many things to do, things for everyone to do. Like in Osaka, I could have done more things. I could have gone to Nara. I didn't go to Nara. I forgot to do that as well. But honestly, I highly recommend if you're going to go to Tokyo and you're scared about doing it by yourself, do it. I highly recommend. This trip probably cost me around £2,000 nearly in total, but that was 2 hotels, flights to there and back, trains, food, souvenirs, and all my tickets for like Disneyland and all that sort of stuff. So it is doable. I did this within a year. I saved up all my money within a year and I did it. And I have a kid. Funny enough, I have a kid. But yeah, I met some incredible people here and I had a wonderful time. And yeah, I 100% will want to do it again. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, thank you for sticking around for this long. And after this, if you want me to do a question video, like if you guys want to pop questions down, maybe I'll make a question video after this. Who knows? But until next time, this is the Elka95. Thank you and bye.